get so strong enough.
Good afternoon, everyone. I can't tell you how many times I have been asked, how do I season a cast iron pan? How do I make something like this? You can see, look like this. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. Today I'm going to show you how to do that. And you're going to need a few things, not a whole lot, but just a few. You're going to need a pan. Before I go any further, I need to make something clear, and that's what people understand, is that there is a difference between stripping a pan, washing a pan, seasoning a pan, and maintaining a pan. They're all different. The maintenance of a cast iron pan is the easy part. Washing is an easy part. But there are many steps to that. So I'm going to show you today how I personally season a cast iron pan. Now, everybody has their own way, and that's okay. You can do it my way, or you can do it somebody else's way, or find your own way. But today I'm going to show you how I do it. And it works for me. It doesn't work for everyone, but it works for me. And the ones that I have seasoned this way have went on to other people, and it has worked for them. So I'm going to stick with what my mama taught me. And this is what I'm going to do today. So the first thing that you're going to need is, you might look at a pan like this and think, oh my God, it's terrible. It's in rough shape and I don't know what to do with it and it's bad. And if you know where the pan came from, like say your friend gave it to you because it was her grandmother's and she didn't want it anymore, this is not a pan that is in rough shape. It's not, I promise you. This is in good shape and it's perfect for seasoning. Now, with that being said, if you purchased a cast iron pan from, let's say, a flea market or a yard sale, and you don't know where it came from or who's been cooking what in it or where it's been, it's best to strip that. And I'm going to save that for a different video because that's a process and it takes time to do that. So now moving forward, I'm going to show you what you're going to need just to strictly season a pan. You need your good condition pan. You're going to need some gloves that are heat resistant. Best things ever I bought on Amazon. You're going to need some Crisco oil. Good old Crisco fat. Vegetable oil. Vegetable shortening. That's what it is. I choose to keep mine separate from when I'm cooking, just because of the rag that I use to wipe out my pans with. This I'll take a few I'll take out of here and just put it in this Tupperware little dish here, because my seasoning rag has been seasoned quite well. But today I'm going to use a new one to show you for this, because this is what you guys are probably going to most likely use, is a new rag, not one that's been seasoned to death. So the rag that I use is 100% cotton, and it is from an old t-shirt that I found at a thrift store. It had a big old stain on it, and it was marked in this, it was in a free box on the floor. So I grabbed it and I cut it up, and this is what I got. This used to be this. And today I'm going to use a nice new one. So the first thing that you are going to want to do is take your pan, just like this, just take it like it is, and place it in a cold oven. Don't turn your oven on yet. Cold oven. Okay. Pan. Just the pan that needs to be seasoned. It's going to go in the oven just like that, in a cold oven. It's not hot. Don't turn it on. Now it's in a cold oven. I want you to turn it on, bake, or whatever your oven says. Mine just says start. And then, oh shoot, sorry, I made a mistake. All right, hit bake. And then I'm gonna turn mine up to 400 degrees and start. I'm going to let that go for 1 hour like that. And then we will move to the next step. All right guys, I'm back. It's been an hour. The pan has been in the oven for an hour heating up. I want to specify something or clear something up because you may have been asking yourself why. When it comes to putting it in a cold oven, start the hour countdown after your oven has reached the temperature of 400. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to pull it out. Okay, now very quickly, you are going to take your rag. You're only going to put a very little bit on there, not a lot. And then you're going to go ahead and you're just going to start rubbing that. You want to put a thin layer on it. If you think that you've got a thin layer, make it even thinner. Flip it over. Very thin layers, just to where you're barely covering it. You're just going to rub that off. And if you get too much on it, you're going to know it because you'll be smoked out of your house. Ooh, I can feel that heat right through these gloves. I've been burned several times doing this. So these gloves are like amazing. Even though you can still feel the heat through them, you really should have a pair of them. I did it for a long time without them. And trust me, I've got the scars and the burns to prove it. Okay, that doesn't look like much. And it's really not. You don't want a thick layer on there. You just rub that like that until it comes out like that. Now we're going to go back over to the oven. Important part, instead of putting it upright like this in the oven, we're going to flip it over like this in the oven. And there's a reason for that. Okay, let's set it back in there. Okay, the reason for tipping it upside down is just in case you got a little too much oil in it, you don't want that pooling in the bottom of your pan. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a sticky mess from hell, and you're just going to want to throw it out. Please don't do that. So the easiest way to avoid it is to put on the thinnest layer possible and just put it in your oven upside down. Now it's at 400. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to reset it. And now we're going to turn it up to 450. And start the countdown after your oven reaches that temperature for an hour. And then after that hour, we're going to come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so now I'm at the point where I've got my first seasoning on, and it's been an hour when we turned it up to 450. And it might seem a little frustrating, but this is what you're going to do. You're going to come over to your oven and you're going to shut it off and you're going to walk away from it. You're not going to open it up. You're not going to take it out. You're going to let it cool down until you can touch it. It's a patience game when it comes to this. But I just want to make sure that everybody remembers that cooking and cleaning it's easy. It's not as intimidating as it sounds. So this last night, that was chicken pot pie. This was my homemade pumpkin pie. I took it out of the pan and put the rest in the fridge. And this was an egg pan that Joe made breakfast this morning with. And just like any other pan, I know that I made a video about this before. But just like any other pan, you wash it with soap and water. You rinse it. The only thing you really have to do differently is dry it. Dry it and season it. this stuff will come right off. It does not stick. I'm not going to leave them here on the towel. Oh, I missed a spot. There we go. Now it's good. This is my big 10-inch pan. It's not a 10-inch, it's a number 5, or I mean a number 10. Oh, jeez. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Joe, I'm shocked that you're not running to go get the blue tape. Sometimes I need a filter. Okay, so this is clean. Nothing stuck to it. I didn't soak these. I didn't soak them overnight or anything like that. It's just, that's what they are. So now, I'm going to take them over here to my stove. One there. One there. And my little guy back here. On high. On high. On high. Now we're going to wait for that water to evaporate in the pans, which it doesn't take long at all. It doesn't take long. And then I'm going to get me some paper towel. And because I have this, I mean it's Crisco, but this is the only one that I use to season my pans and wipe them out with. Because the other one I needed to cook with, and it can get kind of, sometimes it can get dirty. So, I mean, it's not dirty, but it's just the idea. So, I'm just about out of water in this pan already. I'm going to shut it off. Very little goes on. And that one's done. And that one's done. And then I will leave these to cool down before I go ahead and hang them up on my rack. I made my own rack to hold these. I wanted to hang them, but hanging cast iron, that can be a little tricky, especially if you want to do it in the house and not just a garage somewhere. It's got to be done a certain way, safely, so that it's not going to kill somebody if it comes crashing down. I was at a place and I got a cast iron wagon wheel for free. And I brought it home. And Joe and I, we sanded it down. And then we spray painted it, because obviously I don't have enough big enough to season a cast iron wagon wheel. And we hung it up. And he put it into the joists of the house, or into the ceiling. And how much weight can those bear? All those chains and that?
A ton.
A ton? About a ton. So I think we're safe. I think we're safe. Hasn't come crashing down on my head yet. But here you go. These are all ready to be used again. And they're perfectly fine. They're great. All they gotta do is cool down, and then I'll hang them up there. Hi everybody. Okay, it's been like 3 hours now, and I have not looked at my pan, and my oven should be cooled down enough for me to look in there and get it. Oh yeah, everything's not hot at all. Let's see what we got. Not a bad first coat. Not a bad first coat at all. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right back in the oven, upright like this. And I'm going to go to my oven, just like I did before. Up to 400 for an hour. After it reaches temperature, then your countdown starts. And then we're going to just repeat this process over until you get the desired darkness of the pan that you want. I like mine jet black and beautiful and shiny, and that's what I'm going to make this one. It could take you probably 5 times to do that, but if you could just take a day and just do it, then all you'd ever have to worry about is the maintenance of it, which is, like I said, the really easy part. So I'm going to see you in maybe tomorrow. It should be done. It's pretty early yet. It's only 6 o'clock because of the hour change now because of daylight savings time. So I'm going to do this at least 2 more times tonight, and then probably maybe 2 tomorrow, and then we'll see what it looks like after that. See you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. So yesterday we were seasoning a cast iron pan that did not need to be stripped, that I didn't feel needed to be stripped, but just reseasoned. And because of the time change, I kind of got messed up a little bit because it felt a lot later than what it was. So I decided that, you know, I can get 3 seasonings in yesterday, and then when I got up this morning, I did 2 more. So there's a total of 5 seasonings I've done on this pan. I'm solo today. Hubby's not here, so I've got 2 hands instead of 3. And it's time for a reveal. So on to the next step. I will show you over there, but I have to go move my camera by myself because I've been abandoned by my husband for like 3 hours today. Woe is me. Woe is me. Okay, so I'm back over here, and I'm going to get the pan that I seasoned last night and this morning. This is it. This is my new Black Beauty. Now this one is the one that I just did, that we did together. And this one is mine, the one that I compared it to the other day. And I don't know, can you tell the difference? Can you tell the difference? Which is which? I can tell. I know which is which. Can you? Let me know in the comments. Now, when it comes to doing a new pan and reseasoning it, my mom, it's just something that my mom told me to do, and I've always done it. Honestly, I don't know what it does or why it does it, but she said after you're done seasoning a pan, you need to bake in it. I don't know why. If you know the reason why, let me know. I don't. But she said you want to bake something in it, either like a pie or something that has a crust on it. It does something to the cast iron, and it makes it even more nonstick. I'm not sure why. Like I said, please let me know if you have the answer to that. I'm just doing what I was told. That's all. I'm just doing what I was told, and it's always worked. Now, cast iron and sugar, they don't always play well together. Sugar likes to stick to cast iron. So a lot of people, they will either they'll cook bacon in it after they have reseasoned a pan. I can't tolerate that the grease of bacon, so I choose to bake in mine instead. So just keep that in mind if you're reseasoning a pan, and the first thing, you know, somebody's going to tell you is cook bacon in it, which is great, which is fine. You can do that. Just make sure that it doesn't have sugar in it, like maple flavored or brown sugar, or, you know, brown sugar, you know, anything that has sugar in it. Stay away from it for that first time of cooking in it, because it will stick. I promise you, it will stick. Because they just don't play well together. Not that you can't. you know, put sugar in it later, because I mean, obviously I do. I cook everything in mine. But the sugary things that I normally cook in mine are baked, like a crust, like brownies, like a cake. And, you know, they come out absolutely perfect. So it's just maybe a different type of heat that's happening. I don't know the answer. But we're going to go ahead and now we're going to bake something in this because, oh, wrong one. Ha! Look at that. I got confused. I have twins now. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to bake in this, and I'll pop one out and show you just how nothing will stick to it now. Come with me. Join me for brownies. That's because I like walnuts. Really, I like them. In case you're wondering, yes, this is a cast iron spoon. It's kind of cool. So, and I love it. So I'm just going to add a few more walnuts. And then I'm going to mix this up. But before I do this, I want to explain something, that this right here is like the best thing for cast iron. If you don't want things to stick to it while you're baking, especially sugary things. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to spray this right now. Let's give it a coat like you would Pam. Good enough. And I got a little guy here. It's a 3-notch Lodge number 3 because the number 6 may be too small to fit all of the brownie mix in it. And we don't waste brownie mix in this house. No, that's blasphemous. You don't do that. So if there's any left over, my little 3-notch Lodge is going to get a little brownie too. Okay, I'm going to start doing this. Plug your ears. Here goes. Woohoo! Okay. Now we're going to pour it in. Give it a little stir. Wow, that's thick. Oh, okay. Pour it into our pan. You're going to bake this at 350 until your toothpick comes out clean. And then it will be done. And there is going to be a little bit left over because I don't want to overfill that. Okay, and there we go. We are off to the oven. Yum. I'll be right back to show you how they pop out of the pan without a problem. Non-stick. Okay, sorry if you can hear my dishwasher going, but I wanted to take a second and show you the cloth that I used yesterday. Now, if you were with me, you remember that this was brand spanking new and it was white as snow. And I want to make sure that people know that this is not dirt. This is not gunk. This is not bad. This is, it's scorched from being rubbed with oil on a very, very hot cast iron pan. That's what this is. That's not icky. It's just, that would happen to you too. So I just wanted to make that clear, that just because it looks like this doesn't make it bad. Okay, now my brownies are done. Let's bring them over here. They've cooled off a bit. And now I'm going to show you. Here, I'll move them onto here. That way I can set them out. Okay. All right, here we go. They're beautiful. They're delicious. All right, here we go. Moment of truth, right? All around the edge. Look at that. Pops right out. Look at that. There's one. See? Nothing stuck. Nothing is stuck. And for our little guy, look at that. Nothing sticks. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Beautiful. Now we get to go ahead and cut these up and enjoy them maybe with a scoop of ice cream.
A little strong enough.